All right, you guys, welcome to our Team Everest call. It is February 2nd, Groundhog Day, and I heard that looks like we're going to have a short spring, according to the little groundhog. What's his name? Puxatony? Somebody? Does anybody know his name?
Puxatawny Phil.
That's it. I knew it was something like that. So that's hopefully that's true, right? So tonight I am super excited because, we have been talking about our upcoming DISC or DISC training workshop that we're going to be doing, and sort of doing a little bit of a build up. Last week we had Laura Smith speak with us. She is a fellow Start On, and she talked to us about how it's been affecting positively herself and her team. And so I am super excited to bring this training to our team and see what it can really do for us personally and as a team in how we grow this year. So I'm very happy to have the actual professional trainer that's going to be working with us on tonight. Her name is Shonda Sammons. And she has over 25 years of experience, you guys, in this type of stuff, specifically with DISC, over 10 years of training. And so she works both with corporations as well as with individuals like us, and does a lot with leadership, management, customer service, time management. Oh my goodness, right? Like all the stuff we deal with. So she is like in our wheelhouse. So I'm super excited to have someone that is so just well-trained and versed in not necessarily Beachbody, but in what we do. So Shonda, I am going to let you take it away and just get them pumped for February 16th.
Okay.
But
can you hear me okay?
Yes. We sure can.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure. We're having a terrible storm here. Okay, so my reception may be. I was kind of worried about that. It's nice to meet all of you, and I am looking forward to coming up. I'm originally from Indiana, so I always feel like I'm coming home when I come up there. So I'm looking forward to that. I wanted to talk to you. Geraldine and I spoke today, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what to expect with the assessment invitation that those of you who choose to participate, what you'll get, and then that you will get a link to take the assessment, not a test. I always like to say that a test assumes that it is wrong. This is an assessment, measure observable behavior. So not personality. You will read when you get your report, it'll mention personality in there. It really is geared towards behavior. And you'll get a 21-page report once you take the assessment. It's 24 questions, should take you no more than about 10 minutes. So you want to take your first response. Those of you who have a tendency to want to think things through before you make a decision, I would encourage you just to answer the question, the first choice that comes to your mind that most describes your behavior and least. That's how it's going to go. 24 questions, less than 10, 15 minutes, and then you'll get a link immediately to your results. And we have chosen, I worked with Laura and her team, and Geraldine and I talked this through, and we're going to use a format that instead of DIS and C, it actually relates to birds. It's really a lot of fun. So I know some of you are going like birds. So instead of dominant behavior, we're looking at eagle behavior. We're looking at influential behavior as the parrot, and dove for study, and for the C, some of you, I think Geraldine shared with me, have taken this before. The C is going to be an owl. So we'll translate the DISC to the birds and look at their behavior. And I've just found that it's sometimes easier when we're thinking about someone. It's easy to spot a parrot. It's easy to spot a dove. It's easy to spot an owl, and definitely easy to spot an eagle as it's taking charge. So I'm looking forward to coming up in regards to, it's a really fun session. It will, you'll learn about yourself. You'll learn how to read other people. And I think what's most importantly is learn how to treat your coaches that you're working with the way they want to be treated. And that is going to be the foundation of the whole training. And in addition to me coming, I'm also bringing one of my partners, and she's going to talk about stress in the workplace, and we're going to also address all that internal noise that takes place that we get in our heads that we can't accomplish things. We're going to kind of talk through some tools of how to overcome some of that. So it's fun. It is enlightening. I am a really open trainer, so we'll openly talk about everyone's style. So just to kind of give you a heads up on that. And we'll just enjoy ourselves and just have a relaxing evening and really work on just some personal development for yourselves so that you can, it really gives a good opportunity for you to grow your business when you integrate in that language into your everyday lives.
I love that. I'm super excited also, like we said, to hear Kathy, the other trainer, because I think so many of us get this junk in our head. We all have this self-talk, and whatever it is, we seem to listen to the negative stuff and not so much the good stuff. So being able to use that as well, I'm really excited about putting that in along with our training. I think that's going to be fabulous. So let's see. The other thing I had, I know what it was. If anyone wants to see my assessment, like this isn't a secret, like hush, hush, no one's supposed to know. So I am very willing, if you guys want to take a peek at my assessment, I have printed it out, of course, but I can send you the information just, in a message. And you can, it's 20 something pages. It's pretty extensive. It is not just fly by night, this is how you are. It nailed me to a T. Like it floored me. It even gave me people in history that were like my personality, like just really, really cool stuff for you to sink your teeth into. So trust me, it's well worth the money, well worth it. So in regards to how we get set up, Shonda, because I know we want us to have done this and have read our assessment and printed off before the 16th. So how do we go about doing that?
So what we'll do is, if you are interested, let Geraldine know and she'll send me everyone's email address that's interested. And then I will email you an invitation, and it will be a link to the assessment. And then shortly after you take the assessment, then you'll get a link, another link that will give you to your results. And so for the class, for the training, everyone will print that off and bring it with them. And then I'll bring some additional training tools that you can utilize once the class is over. So it really doesn't take a lot of time. It would be important if for some reason you take the assessment, try to do it without an interruption. If you read it and you're like, oh my, this does not sound like me at all, and I will tell you that doesn't happen very often. If it does though, let Geraldine know, and then you and I, whoever, if that happens, then we'll chat before I get there, because it's definitely of no value if you don't think that it sounds like you. And it is a measurement. I think this is important. It is a measurement, as I said, of your behavior. And I always like to throw in normal, observable behavior, but it does not measure your value system, your experience, your anything in regard. It's strictly just a look at behavior at the moment that you take it. So I think that's really important. Learning how to read other people. We'll spend a lot of time practicing that in the session, which I found, and I'll give you some of the tips that I used how to quickly learn the language. I'm very passionate, and Geraldine and I talked about this today. I'm very passionate about the language. I have, as she said, worked in it for 10 years. It made such a difference. I thought that everybody got up every day, hit the ground running. I'm a morning person, and tried to accomplish as much as they could all day, and tried to throw fun in there and drug everybody along whether they wanted to come or not. And by the end of the day, not only was I exhausted, I had exhausted everyone around me. So when I started seeing how my overuse of my behavior impacted other people, and I wasn't accomplishing the things I wanted to, then that became my journey. And so I've integrated it in to everything that I do. My business, my family gets upset because they're always like, quit analyzing me. But we have a lot of fun with it. it has been, it was a life-changing event when the language was introduced to me. I'm not all of you are going to have that same experience. I'm on a journey to get as many people to take the assessment. I live in a small town, and everyone in the town just about has taken it, so it's always kind of a joke. Everyone's always, when they're around, like, what's your style? What's your style? So it's a lot of fun. It's very beneficial. I'll also throw in some tips on the name of my business is Advocate Builders, so I'm very strong in developing that unpaid sales force of people who are out there referring you business. So we'll talk about that too, and how to integrate the language in, how to build that group of people who are speaking on your behalf and touting your praises. So we'll have a few other things in there, not just the disc language. And then on top with Kathy, talking about stress and getting rid of all that junk in our head. It should be a really fun evening with a lot of information that you'll go away with.
I'm super excited about it. And she even mentioned that we'll even talk about our spouses and figure out what our spouse is, so that we can sort of improve communication, because, doesn't matter how long you've been married, that can always improve, right? So I just think
absolutely.
So yes, $60. And she did tell me, Shonda, you did tell me that they can pay at the training. They don't have to pay beforehand.
Absolutely.
Correct? Yeah. They can take the assessment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. And I am providing.
I'll go ahead and send it out.
Perfect. That'll be great. And then I'll provide dinner that night. So it's from 6 to 9 on Tuesday, February 16th. So 2 weeks from today. So if you can plan that out, and it's going to be down here in Greenwood at my husband's office. So if anybody needs the address, I can give you that. Susie said cash, check, or charge, or both?
Yeah, it'll be cash or check is fine. So if that's okay with you. Yeah, I don't take credit cards. Usually most of my clients, it's through a PO. So I just haven't set up. So if you just want to pay me cash or check, that'll be great.
Okay. So you guys know that up front, so that's good. Do you guys have any other questions for Shonda before we let her go?
I have a quick question. Sorry, I had to go take peppers out of the oven. That's why I ran away.
Sure.
So Shonda, when we're answering the assessment, and I've never done it before, do we answer with thinking about working with other coaches, or do we think about working with our challengers, or even I could use this for the people I manage at my day job? Is there a certain way we should be thinking when we're answering the question?
Yes, think about it in your work life. So whatever area, if you're called upon for different types of talents or strengths in each job, I would think about it in regards, the assessment will tell you to think about it when you're at work. So not in regards to your home life. We do have a home style, and we do have a style at work. So think about it as you're working throughout your day. So maybe think about collectively all of the roles that you play in a work environment.
Okay, that helps. Thanks.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, and now let me clarify that. So a lot of these coaches work outside the home. So when you say your work life, are we thinking more like when they're working as coaches, or when they're doing whatever?
Yes.
So it's more like thinking how you are within the team structure, whether it's online, in person at a Super Saturday, you know what I mean? Working your Beachbody business. That's sort of the lens you're looking at.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else?
Just in your business, even though you work at home, when you're thinking about it in regards to how you work within your business environment.
Right.
Do you have PayPal by chance?
PayPal.
Do I have what?
PayPal.
I don't have PayPal. I just have. If there's some kind of issue, we can talk about it. Just let Geraldine know if you prefer to pay that way, and we'll work something out. Okay.
I just don't have checks, and I don't go to the bank very often, so I just need to remember to go to the bank.
That, or you can PayPal.
Okay.
Me.
Sorry about that.
Okay, Cassie, you can PayPal me, and I can write a check.
Okay, that would work, because it'd be a lot easier, because I don't go to the bank unless I'm just going to the babies are not fun to do that sort of stuff with. Just saying.
That's why the drive-thru's good.
I know, but she still screams.
If you have your online banking and you want to pay me through that, that's fine too. I do have a lot of people who pay.
Do you have Chase Quick Pay? Is that what
I
you're
don't.
I
don't.
I'll just PayPal Geraldine.
That's fine. Just PayPal me and I'll write a check.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So does anyone else have any questions in relation to this event or for Shonda before I let her go? Awesome. If anyone does, we'll
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you.
We are too, Shonda. Thank you so much for your time this evening. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks. And I'll see you all soon. If you have any questions about anything, please let Geraldine know and she'll give you my contact information and you can email me or text me and I will definitely respond. Okay.
Perfect.
Just bring a copy of your assessment with you to class.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. I'm off. Okay. Y'all have a great evening.
You too.
All right, you guys. Awesome. So let's see here. All right. So Shonda is off. Does anyone have a question? Maybe they didn't want to ask in front of Shonda. She knew that might possibly be the case, so that's why we only had her for a few minutes. Does anyone at all? If you don't, it's okay. I just want to give you the opportunity. Yes. Okay. Well, I won't wait for that. So right now, the people that I have said they're going to come. Stephanie, you were a question mark. Are you decided?
I still need to think about it a little bit more. That's okay.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Cassie said yes. Susie said yes. Jackie? Yes. Okay. And then Amanda's aren't here. And Pam, you said yes? Right? And Susie, you said yes? Am I right? And
yes.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. And then Leah? Are you there?
Fine.
Hey, are you there? Are you planning on coming to the assessment or to the assessment, to the training? Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
She said yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so I'm excited. I will get your emails. If I don't have them on me, I will let you know and get those and get that to Shonda. So then you have time between now and the 16th to do your assessment. Immediately you will get your results. You can print them off and read through them and then be ready to take that with you. So, okay, let's see. Am I missing anything? No. Okay. So I wanted the rest because I knew this, I wasn't sure how long this would take. And so I thought instead of planning like a big topic and not having time and having to break it up, I thought I would use the rest of today as sort of a question answer, Q&A type thing, because we're kind of going full speed. And I know we have new coaches still, and we have coaches that are sort of coming back into it, and we have coaches that have been around a while. So do any of you have questions? And they don't have to necessarily be directed at me. It could be a specific coach you have a question for or a topic, and we can all weigh in. So if anyone wants to go first, go for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, Susie,
Okay.
go ahead.
I have been forming a lot lately, but I'm having a hard time transitioning from the form or from the occupation recreation to the message.
Okay.
To invite.
Okay. You want to make sure that you're not thinking too hard about it and make it real, just kind of relaxed. And when you talk about recreation, do you talk about, yes, and Cassie asked if you all know what forming is. Forming is just getting to know people. And the M is the message where you start to invite and talk about Beachbody Challenge groups and whatever it is you want to invite them to. The first part of it is just an acronym for family, occupation, recreation. Just asking people about their life, being interested in them. So what Susie's talking about is she is talking to people, having conversations on Messenger, in private messages on Facebook. but she's having a hard time, she said, transitioning from talking about their life and whatever to actually inviting them to something. So one of the things I have used in the past, and again, I don't use scripts or templates. I just I'm natural. And this is where my personality, I struggle with people who prefer more structure because I tend to just roll with it. So I'm going to be working on this, you guys. This DISC assessment is going to help me a lot too. But one of the things that I do in order to bring them from that family, whatever conversation to a Beachbody topic is, talking about when they're asking what I'm up to or what I'm doing, I let them know that I'm on a fitness journey, or that, we talk about what we enjoy doing. I enjoy working out. I mean, I do. That's not a lie. I mean, that isn't, now if you don't enjoy working out, you might want to talk more about nutrition or something you do like about it. Hopefully you like something. And then share that with them and ask them, hey, by the way, do you enjoy working out, or are you currently doing something? I know it's the new year and a lot of people are hitting the gym hard or trying to lose some weight or whatever you think, that person you're talking to from the conversation you've had, and sort of tell them what you're doing and then ask them if that's something they're focused on right now. And always, always, always end a message with a question. So what I used to do years ago when I would write messages, I would always say, love Geraldine, or hugs, or talk to you soon, or let me know, or it just sort of dropped off. And so it really wasn't a compelling ending for someone to respond back to me, because it was sort of just left, just the ball was dropped. And it was up to them whether or not they wanted to do it. Whereas if you ask a question back at them, and that's what you leave your message with, it tends to keep the conversation going. And Stephanie pointed me to a YouTube training today, and I listened to just the last 10 or 15 minutes of it. And one of the things that do you remember what the coach's name was? Stephanie, do you remember?
It's Bonnie. She's one of the top 10 elite coaches this year.
She's number 5 coach. And I think she's definitely a parrot from everything she was saying. She has no system, and I shouldn't say no system, but it's pretty just relaxed, completely opposite from what we hear from Melanie Mitro, right? Who's very systematized. And she's just don't form forever. Get on with it. And sometimes if it feels like the conversation is about to drop, just invite them. If you've had this conversation and you've been conversing about life and, everything going on in the world, for goodness sake, just all of a sudden just be like, hey, we've been chatting and I think you might really like something like this. What do you think? Have you considered doing something like this? Or have you ever kind of struggled with health and fitness? And it doesn't have to be weight loss, because sometimes when we initially ask people about weight loss, it's well, you are referring that I'm fat. You don't want to say, do you need to lose weight? But you could say health and fitness and let that person determine what that is for them. If it's 5 pounds or 50 pounds or drinking more water or whatever. Right?
Hey, Geraldine.
Yeah.
Can I jump in from a systemized point of view and share what I do?
Go for it. And
I learned this from Diamond Dash last year. And I just have all my scripts in Asana. And this is what they taught, a 3-step process. And so basically you're forming, but you're inviting the people from the people who like or comment on your posts. So the first thing you would do, you would send them a thank you for liking or commenting on the post and say, your support means a lot to me on my journey. I'm sure you can relate. And then step 2 says, I'm actually getting ready to. And then this is where you insert what you're trying to invite them to. So you can say, host what we call a sneak peek, have a 5-day free clean eating group, start a challenge group, whatever that may be. And then just say, can I share with you a little bit more about that? And then say, oh, and by the way, this is step 3. You say, oh, by the way, and pay them a sincere compliment and give them an out to talk about something else. So say, I like your hat and your kids are pretty cute. I see you like football. And so that way they respond to you, and you can keep that conversation going, and they can choose what they're comfortable with. And you don't feel like you're pushing it on them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I do that a lot when it comes to people who are liking my page or whatever. And I know, like, for Susie, she's already in some in-depth conversations that may not necessarily be about health and fitness at all. And so maybe there's a way you can use what Cassie has said as well somehow. I don't know. Maybe you look to see if they like anything on your page, and that could be part of your conversation. Hey, I noticed you like this on my page, you know, whatever. So
Yeah,
Cassie,
basically I took down, if anybody uses Asana, I have a scripts folder, and I probably have over like 25 to 50 scripts that I got from Diamond Dash. So if you have Asana, I can just basically add you to this task list, and you could have all these scripts too.
Yeah,
I'm an eagle, and I'm a very like script person. I'm not a fly by the seat of my pants because I don't know what to say.
I'd like to have that, Cassie. If you could.
Yeah, for sure.
I have Asana too.
Yeah, so just send me however I invite you on Asana. Probably your email, I'm assuming.
Okay, so while we're on that topic of Asana, I won't get into that a lot, but and those of you in Coach Basics, we do talk about Asana. So, but this is going to be a little preview, all right? Little heads up about it. If you don't have what we call Asana, you can get it in an app, ASANA, all right, Asana. It is free, and you can also get it on your computer, like via the internet. So they talk to each other. So what you put in on the computer is available on your app. So if you're out and about and you're working and maybe you'll learn how to use it in the Coach Basics, but you could be out, maybe you've got a half an hour waiting for something, like I know Sharon, you with your grandkids, right? You running around doing stuff, you might be able to sit for half an hour to practice and do some work. That will go back to your computer as well. And you'll be able to say, okay, I spoke with these people and need to follow up at this time or whatever. They said this, I said this. And you can keep track of your people and your conversations instead of losing track of paper. Some people really like to have a systematized, digital format and an Excel spreadsheet while you can write things down. It doesn't give you the reminder to follow up when the time comes to follow up. So unless you're really, really good at writing down everyone's name at a certain time and day you need to follow up, you can often forget and people can get lost in the cracks. So really a nice program. And like Cassie said, if we have files saved in Asana, like I save all my YouTube video clips from all the different workouts of Beachbody. The reason I used to send Beachbody videos, I don't anymore, because I don't want people necessarily going right to the price and turning themselves off before we've had a chance to talk about it. So if I send a YouTube video, it's a 2.5 minute video of a workout, and then we can continue the conversation without price turning them off before they've had a chance to really see what it can do for them. So Asana is wonderful for keeping scripts, keeping your names of your contacts, coaches, whatever. Anything you want, you can keep in there. And we're also able to share it if we choose. It doesn't have to be, yours is not public, but you can share it. So if anybody, Cassie, would you do a little something on the page and say if anybody wants to be added to your Asana or however that works? Because I've never shared anything, so I'll be honest, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, Susie, can you look at it and make sure that I'm doing it right? Because I already added. You got it. Okay.
Okay, I can
all the scripts in there.
I can see your page, and I can see all your tasks. We're doing. Oh yeah. Okay, I see the scripts.
You're also going to be able to see all my customers and my leads.
Oh yeah. I see all the scripts. Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So yeah, if you want to do something on the page so that we can, if anybody else wants to see your scripts,
maybe I don't care, but maybe I shouldn't add everyone to my Asana because you can see all my customers and coaches.
Is there a way for you to share? Is there a way for you?
I don't know how to do that. Like I'll have to play with it, but I'll be able to. I can share some of them on the page for sure.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But again, I'd rather call them templates because again, nobody wants to feel like they're on the other end of a script, right? Like telemarketer, So so that's where my personality comes in, and really just personalize things. Try to, definitely the information can be the same, but make sure you're always keeping people at the heart of it and not just a sale, right? Another question. Cassie, did you have a question?
I thought that it would be nice to talk about kind of what we talked about today on our call, especially if there's new coaches on there, about how if you, oh, Ellie, please don't do this. If you are struggling like I am with like restarting or just starting to focus really on the forming first.
Right.
And really talk about what the forming is, because I think that that's something that we do kind of leave out sometimes. We don't talk enough about, because it's so like just like you should be doing it, but we don't really talk about like you should be doing it.
Right. So Cassie was talking about she has sort of been out of the business world for a little while, and definitely want to make sure that she's forming. And you might say, well, okay, what's the big deal about that? Well, it's hard to just up and invite somebody to something if you haven't talked to them in 6 months. Like even a birthday party, right? It's weird. Like, hey, you want to come over to my house for an hour? And yet you haven't talked to them, seen them, said hello. It's kind of weird. And so one thing she's doing, like we talk about our goals each week, and Stephanie and I do the same thing. And it's like, she's going to be like forming like crazy. Like her goal by Thursday night or Friday morning is like 100 people that she's talked to, not Beachbody, not inviting, just talk to, because then that opens up the channels of forming them and getting to know them, and then getting to the place where she can invite. It's going to happen at different rates with different people, depending on the conversation and whether they respond right away or not. But that's the only way every day is for you to have those types of conversations before you're able to invite them to something, whether it's a virtual open house or whatever. Let's see. Okay, Stephanie, well, let's jump on your question real quick, because we have like just almost 3 minutes.
Okay. I saw a post from a friend who she posted a picture of herself 3 years ago. She has 3 little kids. She's gained weight. In the picture, what she was basically saying, I wish I looked like that. So I sent her a message and said, hey, I saw your post. I'd love to help you. Can you tell me more about like what your goals are and what you like to, what you'd like to see? And so she wrote back, basically said she's just exhausted because she has like a 6-month-old, and she works, and her husband gets home late, and she has to cook dinner and do homework. So I asked her to what kind of workouts she likes to do, and she wrote back and she likes to do cardio and weights and stuff like that. So this is where I'm kind of like, okay, now what do I say?
Okay. Well, in that case, it sounds to me like she's ready. Like she sounds like that was a cry for help, right? Yeah. If you're feeling bad about yourself and you're wallowing, you don't post stuff like that.
Right.
For the most part, when you do that, you're reaching out for help. It's like a cry for help. So, let her know, say, hey, I just want you to know that I'm here to help you. I have some tools that have helped me. Can I share those with you? Do you mind if I ask you some more questions? And then go into, a few more questions so you really understand what she wants, what her time in her head, what her time frame is. Ask her, with 3 kids, is time an issue working out? So like a 25, 30-minute workout. Sounds like either T25 or maybe 21-day fix might be right up her alley, with liking cardio, weights, having little kids, that kind of thing. Ask her if nutrition is an issue. Is she nursing? You know what I mean? Ask her some more questions, and then just say, hey, I would love, check out this video, and have her look at the 21-day fix and maybe T25 and see what she likes. And then get her interested, and then you'll get to the point where you'll talk about price, but really figure out what would excite her.
Stephanie, I'm the script woman. I love scripts. I have a script that basically goes through this whole, it's like a challenge group script too. If you want me to send it to you.
Sure. We might get cut off any second. So if we do, I'm not being rude. Just want to let you know. If you have any other questions or topics, because I am pulling topics for Laura and Ophi and I to do as well as for team trainings for each other, please share that with me as well, because I want to make sure that we are hitting topics every week that are very pertinent to what we're doing and what you're interested in. No matter what area you're on, we can always go back to basics. or new coaches can learn a little more in depth. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go because we are going to get shut off, and I am I